So the Grand Prix starts tomorrow, and I don't know about you guys, but I am very much looking forward to this one. Obviously, it's the only major tournament in the PDC that does have a double in, double out format, so I'm very intrigued to see how people get on with this one. And yeah, I thought, you know what, we're going to predict every single match in this tournament, so we're going to do the round 1 predictions today, then we'll do round 2 on Wednesday, just before they just before they get started, so I'll be very quick with that one. Round 3 on Thursday, I think. Round 3 on Thursday, and then obviously quarterfinals, semis, and then the final. So hope you guys enjoy. We'll enjoy that. But without further ado, let's get right into this. We've got 16 matches to get through here, so I'm going to try and rattle these as quickly as I possibly can. So starting off, we do have Josh Rock against Ryan Joyce. Now, Josh Rock, I think he'll be pretty happy overall with his draw. He obviously could have had one of the harder draws, but I think against Ryan Joyce, who, again, no offense to Joyce, but I think this is one of the easier games that Rock could have gotten. And to be fair, I think Rock will be up for this one. You know, I don't know why. I've got a feeling that we could have like an outsider win this tournament. What I mean by that is basically like someone who's either like not seeded or one of like the lower seeded players, like likes of your Nathan Aspinall, Johnny Clayton, players like that. You know, I just can't see like Humphries, MBG, or Michael Smith, any of them winning that this time around. It just doesn't really feel like it will. And Josh Rock, you know, he's been in pretty good form this year. He's done well. Obviously, he's won on the Euro Tour. I believe he's won on the Pro Tour as well. And then Ryan Joyce, you know, he's only really been playing in the Player Championships this year. Hasn't really had much action. Obviously, he has played on the Euro Tour a couple times as well. But other than that, he hasn't had much action compared to Josh Rock. Obviously, I think Rock will probably be fancying the chances on this one. To be fair, I think so as well. In terms of the scoreline, I'm going to say 2-0 to Rock. But you know, it's in sets, you know, anything can happen. So I'm going to say 2-0 to Josh Rock for that one, I think. Next, we've got Brennan Dolan against Martin Schindler. Now, Schindler coming off the back of that mental Euro Tour final against Ryan Searle, where let's be honest, he should not have won that final. You know, Ryan Searle just took his chances. He would have won. Like, obviously, Schindler was 4-0 down, then 7-4 down. Like, it was ridiculous, really. But Schindler, fair play to him. You know, he, unlike Searle, took his chances. Because I mean, to be fair, Schindler lately, especially, he's been very clinical with his finishing. Obviously, he was against obviously, I know he played in that Aspinall. I think it was PC 21. I think it was when he was playing Aspinall. Just absolutely annihilated him on the finish in there. Sorry, it was PC 22. It was obviously, so he had pretty good stuff there. And to be fair, Schindler, he was off. You know, he didn't play the last 3 Pro Tours last week, but Brennan Dolan did. And yeah, with Dolan, you know, he made it to the quarters of the world last year, but since then he hasn't been able to really replicate that form. He just hasn't been very good this year. And to be fair, I think Schindler will be looking to make some sort of grounds in a major tournament, and I think this probably will be where he does get started. I'm gonna go with another 2-0 win for Schindler. I think in this one, I think he'll be very comfortable in this one. Next, we've got Johnny Clayton up against Richie Edhouse, and that should be a pretty interesting one. I'm actually looking forward to this one. I think it could be a pretty close game. You know, Edhouse, I'll start with him first. You know, what a year he's had, especially on the Euro Tour, just absolutely outstanding. Obviously, the last couple Euro Tours he's been on, he's had a couple of them early exits. Obviously, first round exit to Watamina out in Switzerland, and then I think one before that, yeah, against Barney as well. So yeah, he's been had a couple of first round exits, but other than that, he's been at least making the last 16. So he's had a pretty good year. Didn't play a Pro Tour at PC 26. I'm not sure he did. I'm sorry, wrong player. Apologies about that. He did play them 26. Obviously made it to the that last 16. I think would have been against Chizzy. So only lost by a lane. Obviously, he averaged 120 against Graham Hall, which was just fucking outrageous. He also beat Michael Smith as well on the run. So you know he's in good form right now. Edhouse against Johnny Clayton, who he's won a Pro Tour this year, but he just hasn't been the same player really. You know, it was around the match play where his form started to pick up a little bit. He just hasn't really found any sort of like some sort of consistency this year. Really, and to be fair, I wouldn't be surprised if we lost to Ed House, but I don't know. I think Clayton, he's got more like big stage. He's got more experience on the big stage, I think, than Ed House does. Obviously, Ed House, most of his success will come on the Euro Tour. And they have already played twice already this year. Obviously, it's currently 1-1. Obviously, Clayton beat him on the Pro Tour, but obviously Ed House, of course, beat him on the Euro Tour. So there's currently 1-1 between so far this year. I know he hasn't been playing great, but obviously I fancy Clayton to just about edge Ed House out in this one. I'll say 2-1 to Clayton, although again I wouldn't be surprised if Ed House beat him. That's what I'm going to say. Next up, we've got Aspinall against Ryan Searle. Just going to be a pretty good game, not going to lie. I'm looking forward to this one. Obviously me, as you can probably tell, I am a Nathan Aspinall fan. So of course I hope he has a good tournament, but to be fair, he even handled a pretty tricky first game against Ryan Searle, who, I mean, again, obviously I mentioned briefly before, poor final against Martin Schindler in Switzerland, but he'll be looking to right that wrong there. Obviously Aspinall obviously was out with an injury after the match play, but since he's come back he has looked pretty solid, I won't lie. Obviously he made it to the last 16 of the Euro Tour in Switzerland, where he didn't play brilliantly against Daryl Gurney, but he did very well against Chizzy. And in the games before that, and then to be fair, he's been looking a lot more fresh. I think that's what I'm going to use for this. And since he has come back, he looks a lot more fresh. So he'll be looking, to actually have a good run. In the major this year. Obviously, he hasn't quite hit the heights since he won the match play last year. Couple of early exits. Obviously, it was this stage last year where he lost against Stephen Bunton, so he'll be looking to put that right. Yeah, against Searle, he's been playing some great stuff lately, but he's just it's just one where you can actually finally go the extra mile and actually maybe win a tournament. He's due to win something, I think, Ryan Searle. And these two play each other quite often. Only once this year, I think literally a couple of weeks ago, where Searle did beat Aspinall at PT21. To be fair, in the head-to-heads, it's been pretty even, to be fair, I would say. I think they played about 9 times. I think Aspinall's won 5, so it's a pretty even game. And then, to be fair, I think this one will be a close game. In terms of a winner, oh god, I don't know. I don't know. It's a tough one, this one. Obviously, I want to back Aspinall, of course I do. But part of me is I think Searle might win it. I'm not quite sure. Fuck it, I'm backing Aspinall. I'm sorry, Ryan Searle. I'm backing Aspinall. I've got to. I've got to. Yeah, Aspinall to win 2-1. It's gonna be a close game, that one. It really is. Next up, we've got Barney against Pietrasco. Barney, to be fair, he's been doing pretty well lately. Obviously made it to the semi-finals of PT26 on Thursday, so he's had a pretty good run there. Obviously made it to the last 16 and P25. He's had a pretty good week in the Pro Tour, Barney. And obviously these two played each other pretty recently. Actually, it was actually on the Euro Tour literally last weekend. I think it was last weekend where they played each other. And Barney probably should have been out of sight in that game, but Pietrasco managed to form a little bit of a late comeback. Obviously again, Pietrasco, he's had a little bit of a lingering injury. Obviously he had the forfeit his game against Ross Smith again there. But to be fair, at the Pro Tour this week, he has played, and he two second run exits there, but obviously he didn't make it to the last 32 on the Tuesday. To be fair, Pietrasco, he just I don't know, Pietrasco, obviously I think he made it to a final of the Euro Tour against Luke Humphries, but yeah, I don't know. I think Barney will be looking to not easily win this game. I think it should be a pretty easy win for Barney here. I'm going to 2-0 win for Barney, I think, for this one. Next, we've got another great game. Luke Humphries against Stephen Bunton, obviously. Obviously, our man Josh Pearson, obviously on Twitter, he'll be very conflicted with this one, I'm sure. And obviously, this will be a repeat of the PT26 final, where Humphries did win 8-7 in the deciding leg there. And Stephen Bunton, I mean, how can you make it to all 3 finals of the Pro Tours in the weekend? You lose all 3 of them. That's how unlucky can you get? Obviously lost to Humphries on Thursday, lost to Western Nine on Tuesday, lost to Chris Dobie on Wednesday. Like, how unlucky can you get? Really, it is a shame. It really is. But you know, it is what it is. Obviously these two met over quite a few times already this year. Humphries getting the better of him most times, but then not. Obviously Humphries won the last 3 on the Euro Tour, the match play, and obviously the Pro Tour last week. But you know, he seems to be in decent form in a minute. You know, he obviously there was a little patch in the middle of the year after he won the Masters where he just wasn't quite at it. But you know, since then he's obviously since the match play has done quite well. He's in good form right now. But that being on the floor and against Humphries, who I'll admit before the Pro Tour win on Thursday, he's been a little bit shaky lately. Obviously since he won the match play, and by the way, absolutely cruised to the match play win, may I add. Yeah, he just wasn't in good form. He was dropping absolute clangers after clangers on the Euro Tour and the Pro Tour, but who knows, like, maybe winning Prix 26 has maybe helped him out a little bit there. And again, this is going to be a fantastic game. Obviously, Humphries is the first title he's defending, so, you know, he'll be looking to make a good mark there. Oh, I think I'm just going to back Luke Humphries in this one. I think I'm edging that one 2-1. To Luke Humphries. It's gonna be a great game, I'm sure, but I'm gonna just back Humphries there. Again, another great game here. Rob Cross against Luke Littler. Again, which Rob Cross probably would have wanted to have done without first round game, I'm sure. You know, it is what it is. Obviously against Rob Cross. You know, last 32 of the P26, obviously losing to Weston Nyman. He's been in there out there. Rob Cross hasn't done much. As of late, you know, hasn't really forged any real sort of, you know, I'm gonna, you know, do well. Obviously he hasn't done brilliantly lately. Against Littler, who obviously he's got his new darts. Littler just haven't. It looks as though his new darts just aren't really working out for him at the moment. I'm just looking at the forms right now. So yeah, obviously Littler made it to a couple of quarterfinals of the Euro Pro Tour. I think he made it to one of PC25. Obviously he lost to Chris Dobie. Dobie with a fucking outrageous fucking outshot with that game as well. Lost in the semi-finals to Burton on 24. So, you know, since that calamity at the Euro Tour, he has looked a little bit better in the week. And obviously again, these two play each other pretty regularly so far this year. Obviously Littler winning most. Obviously Cross only beating Littler once. That was in the Premier League. Well, Littler's beating them every single time. So yeah, obviously I think the form suggests that Littler probably will beat Rob Cross. But obviously again, we'll know Rob Cross. He isn't going to make it easy for Littler whatsoever. But I can't look past Luke Littler, to be honest. In this game, I'm going to say 2-1 win for Littler there. And finally on Monday, we've got again another great game here. Jan van Veen up against Ross Smith. Ross Smith, for me, will be looking at, again, he'll be another one who'll be looking at this one and thinking, right, I've got a good opportunity to win this. And again, after Ross Smith, he's been again one of the form players this year. He's now up in the top 10 in the world. And yeah, he's had a pretty he's good form. See, a couple of first round exits in the last couple of Pro Tours. But other than that, he's been in pretty decent form. All in all, Van Veen again himself in pretty decent form. It's just again on TV stage. I just don't really know how he's going to do. Obviously, he didn't do very well against Danny Noppert at the World Series finals. So I don't really know what to expect of Jan van Veen in this game. But obviously, he made it to the final of one of the Euro Tours where he pretty unfortunate to lose against Michael Van Gerwen. Obviously, had match darts to win it as well. That was also an insane final, by the way. Absolutely insane. But I think again, Ross Smith, he'll be looking at this one thinking, alright, I've been getting a pretty decent first round tie, and I think Ross Smith, he will be looking to take advantage of this one. And to be fair, I can see him whitewashing Van Veen this one. I'm going to say 2-0 win for Ross Smith here. I'm not confident he'll win this game. Mental, I know, but what can you do? Moving on to Tuesday, again, the great games do not stop there. First up, we've got Chizzy up against Cameron Menzies. Now, Chizzy, is this going to be the time where he finally wins a TV title? It's been well overdue that he needs to win one. And I think his time is now. I really do. I think his time is now. Chizzy, obviously, he's great on the Pro Tour and the Euro Tour. He was ranked number one. Although I think he shouldn't have done number one on the Euro Tour. But Chizzy, he's good there for a reason. But it's just on the TV stage, it isn't quite there. And I don't know if that's just because obviously he's playing later on in the ties way, so he's usually absolutely fucking peppered. I don't know what, but he's playing first. He's first up against Menzies here. Again, Menzies himself, who's been one of the form players lately. Didn't do great at Pro Tours this week, but overall he's been doing all right. He's been doing all right lately. Cameron Menzies obviously made the couple of finals of the Pro Tour as well. Didn't quite get over the line. I think he'll be looking to get a result here. Now obviously they have played each other twice already this year. Again, 1-1. Obviously Menzies batter and chisel, PC 15. Lately, so obviously Menzies, again, both players are in form, but I think Chizzy, he's got to win a TV title at some point, hasn't he? Come on, at least. And again, he's been having a pretty tough game against Menzies, who has been really making his mark this year, up in the rankings. But I don't know. I think Chizzy wins this one. I think I'm gonna say back Chizzy here for 2-1 victory there. That could be a close game. Next, we've got Luke Woodhouse up against Dimitri van den Berg. Now, Woodhouse was struggling with injury, I think, on the last Euro Tour. So I think there were a few doubts whether I actually would be playing at this tournament. But he did play in all 3 Pro Tours. Obviously, during the week, obviously made it to the semi-finals against Luke Humphries on the 26th. So he's capturing some good form here against Dimmy, who, he just hasn't been good enough lately. As Van den Berg, obviously since the match play, he's been pretty poor. I've got to be honest, he's been pretty poor. Quite a few first round exits. Obviously, I'll have a look here. Dimmy. Yeah, like Van den Berg went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. So 6 games in a row where he lost. 6 in a row where he lose. He just wasn't quite at the races. Really, he just hasn't been great. I mean, even before that, like you've got to go back to PC19 where he actually had a pretty decent run. He just has not been in good form at all, Dimmy. But I think he'll be fancying chances here against Luke Woodhouse, who again had a great run, but as we've seen before on the TV stage, Luke Woodhouse just doesn't quite have the bottle. It's a harsh thing to say. I just don't think he has quite got the bottle. On the TV stage, Van den Berg, obviously he'll be looking to right the wrongs of his pretty dire form. Obviously, he's plummeted down the rankings. He's number 14 in the world now. He's plummeted down lately, so he'll be looking to get some sort of results here against Woodhouse, and to be fair, I think he probably will. Here, I'm going to say 2-1 to Dimmy there, but it's going to be a tough one, I think, for him. Next, we've got Mike Dedeker up against Damon Heta. Now, Heta, he'll be looking to he'll be another player who's looking to make his mark at this tournament. And again, he's been having a pretty decent first round game against Mike Dedeker here, I think. Obviously, no offense to Mike, but I think Damon Heta will be looking to do quite well here. Obviously, made it to the last 16 of the Pro. Obviously, I had a pretty good week of the Pro Tour. Damon Heta obviously made it to the last 32 of the 25. Sorry, made it to the last 16 of those 26 and 25. Obviously, second round exit in 24. I think he'll be looking to have a pretty good tournament here, Damon Heta. And against Dedeker as well, I think he'll be looking to really do something here. Head-to-head, played over once so far this year. Dedeker actually beat Heta on the Euro Tour. Over that, only the 4th ever meeting between these two. So this should be pretty intriguing. But again, I think Damon Heta should win this one pretty comfortably. I'm going to say 2-0 to Heta there. Next up, we do have a pretty good game made. Peter Wright up against James Wade here. Obviously, Peter Wright, he's had a mini resurgence in form lately. Obviously, last couple of Euro Tours, had some first round exits in the last couple of Euro Tours, but before that, he was in pretty solid form. Obviously, he made it to the semi-finals of the World Series finals. Obviously, he had a couple of decent run of Euro Tour, the 3 before that one. He's been in decent form lately. Peter Wright against James Wade, who obviously made it to the semi-finals of the match play. Since then, hasn't really done a whole lot. Obviously, he made it to the semi-finals against Gary Anderson in Prix 22. But hasn't played too much lately, James Wade, to be fair. No, he hasn't played a Players' Championship in since 23. He missed the last 3. Then so did Peter Wright. I think I watched Wade against Callum Rhodes in the Euro Tour. As we get into, to be fair, I think Wade was absolutely fucking peppered. You could tell he just didn't know what the fuck he didn't know where he was. Essentially, and to be fair, I think it sounds stupid, but I think if he keeps himself in check, I think he'll be alright against Peter Wright. But again, Peter Wright obviously he'll be pretty confident going into this one. I think it'll be a great game. I just hope George Noble is a referee in this one. Obviously, we all know how much he hates a slow paced game, and needs to do some pretty, well, not slow, but so you know, they're pretty, you know, precise throwing players. Oh, and I fancy Peter Wright in this one. I really do. I said 2-1 on Peter Wright. This one, I don't know. I've got a good feeling about him in this one. Next, we've got Gerwyn Price up against Danny Nobbert. Now, Gerwyn Price just had, again, like Van den Berg, hasn't been in great form at all lately. Obviously, I'm looking at these at the form. Obviously, he made it to the last 16 on PC 2021, but over the nights hasn't quite been there really since you know, late. Obviously, a couple of first round exits on the Euro Tours. Again, he didn't play at the Pro Tours last week. Also, there were quite a few players who are playing in the Grand Prix who didn't play in the Pro Tours last week. And again, because he won, I don't know if he's just trying to, you know, have a rest beforehand, but you know, he hasn't been in brilliant form. Again, Danny Nobbert, who again himself hasn't been quite there. So he had a pretty decent run, 26, and made it to the quarterfinals there. Lost to Barney. But yeah, again, he hasn't really been performing to the absolute highest standard, you could say. And I think Gezi, he'll be looking again. He'll be the one who'll be looking at a tournament thinking, you know, I've got a good chance to win this one here, and I think he should comfortably beat Danny Nobbert in this opening. Obviously 2-0 win for Gezi there. Sorry, Danny Nobbert, but I think Price beats you there. Next game, another absolute banger here. Michael Smith up against Gary Anderson. I mean, Gary Anderson just, wow. Like, what a fucking last few weeks he's had on the Pro Tour. Just, like, honestly, how many players, you know, who can just pick and they're in a great position where they can pick and choose what they want to do and just turn up and average a ton throughout the whole tournament. I mean, Gary Anderson just outrageous. Last few player championships, just absolutely fantastic. And you know, again, obviously, apart from the couple of Pro Tours I played, he hasn't played much since the match play, so he'll be in pretty good shape right now against Michael Smith, who again just hasn't been in good form at all. You know, a few first round exits on the Euro Tour lately, obviously Pro Tour, P24 and first round exit there. Last 32 of the few Pro Tours during the week, he just hasn't been in good form at all. And again, obviously this is a rematch from the match play first round where Michael Smith in the end absolutely battered Anderson, but this time I think Anderson does beat Michael Smith. I'll be honest, I think Anderson, he's in really good form right now, and yeah, I think he wins it. I'm going to say 2-1 win for Gary Anderson against Michael Smith. It could be seen as a bit of an upset, but I think he does it, you know. Next we've got Van Gerwen against Daryl Gurney. Now Van Gerwen hasn't been in action since he won the Euro Tour. Obviously against Van Veen, obviously he has made the last 5 Pro Tours. Obviously missed out on the Euro Tour last weekend as well. So he hasn't played since the 22nd of September. So he's been out for a little bit, Van Gerwen. You know, since he has got these new dots, he has seemed to be back to his old self. He has been in some pretty good form lately, and he'll be. I think he'll be looking forward to this tournament. To be fair, against Daryl Gurney, who he's shown glimpses this year that he is still got it, Daryl Gurney, but I think, you know, he just needs to have a little bit more consistency. I think that's probably the way for him to hit the goal. You know, just, you know, like one visit he'll throw like a ton 40 or whatever, and then the next one he'll throw like fucking like he'll fucking like treble this. You know what I mean? Like, he needs to have some sort of consistency. And to be fair, I think he probably would have been looking at this one thinking, for fuck's sake, against MVG, because, you know, MVG on the big stage, you know, we all know what he's like. You know, usually you just log in, gets the job done. And basically, there's just like very little room for error, really. I think MVG will be thinking, you know what, I've got you, mate. I've got you. To be fair, I think you will. I'm gonna say a 2-0 win for MVG. Sorry, Daryl Gurney, but Van Gurney, I can't look past Van Gurney right now. I'll say 2-0 win for MVG there. And then finally, to end off the night, we do have Chris Dobey up against Joe Cullen. Now Dobey, sort of dipped a little bit after the World Series. Obviously, he made it to the quarterfinals of the World Series finals. Obviously, lost to Littler. Since then, he sort of dipped a little bit in form. He wasn't really playing to his absolute best. Obviously, he made it to the semi-finals of the PC23, and again in I'll say he won 25 as well. That's why he made it to another semi-final. No, he didn't. Oh, he did. Yeah. No, Ignore me, I'm talking shit. But like last couple of Pro Tours, he seemed to pick up form a little bit, which is good for him. Against Joe Cullen, who, I mean, just the less said about Joe Cullen, I mean, the better. Just hasn't been good. Yeah, it has not been going his way at all. Obviously, he lost his mind a little bit on social media as well. Last more than one occasion as well. This hasn't been. I don't think he's in the right headspace at the moment, and I think Chris Dobie will be looking at something. You know what? I'll fucking have you here, Joe. Obviously, haven't played each other since the Grand Prix last year, where Joe Cullen did beat Chris Dobie. So I think Dobie, a little bit of revenge for Dobie, and this one I think obviously these two don't play each other often, which I found pretty weird. So yeah, again, obviously 2-1 win for Chris Dobie here. I think he will be again he'll be another one who'll be looking at the tournament thinking, you know what, I've got a good chance to actually win a major here. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to say 2-1 win for Dobie against Joe Cullen there. I think that'll be again another pretty easy win for Dobie there. That, guys, it is it for my predictions. I've been going for nearly half an hour. Fucking hell. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Who do you think will win in the opening round? Who do you think will win the whole tournament? For me, it's pretty exciting this time because obviously there's like no real clear favourite. Obviously, I think obviously like Humphreys, them two probably will be the bookies' favourites, but the form suggests otherwise, in my opinion. And honestly, I think it's anyone's game. This one, which is it was Darts all about, especially this year where there's been multiple winners. Like no one's like dominated this year, other than Littler. But even then, he hasn't really dominated as much as probably people would have thought he would. But yeah, pretty exciting stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you next time.